What if Doctor Who hadn't been axed in 1989? That is something many have tried to guess at, and now it's my turn. I'll be going through this concept at the rate of 1 season per episode. These videos are based on stories from the Virgin New Adventures, Big Finish Productions, the television movie, unused Doctor Who episodes, and a lot, and I mean a lot, of guesswork. So, Season 36, 1999, the second year for Chris Sadman and Stephen Moffat, and second for new companion Sammy Thompson, played by Jennifer Lean. This season is very important as it is the one that Doctor Who becomes a co-production. Because of the fact the BBC couldn't give Doctor Who the budget it needed this year, it was to be co-produced with Paramount Television, which would give the show a bigger budget. Also, this meant the show would be distributed by Paramount instead of BBC Enterprises. There was another slight change to the title sequence. Now the text on the title sequence appeared like the text on the end credits, so it was white instead of blue and the text was a bit smaller. The Doctor and Sammy are surprised when they receive an emergency transmission from another TARDIS. When the Doctor and Sammy board the other TARDIS, they find that it is under attack by nitrogen-based life forms. That TARDIS is badly damaged and is in need of repairs, so the Doctor, under the advice of the Rogue, who they find owns the TARDIS, extends his TARDIS shields around the Rogue's TARDIS. They must save his TARDIS and track down the troublesome creatures who caused this whole mess before they destroy the Doctor's TARDIS. This story would have been written by Nicholas Meyer, who wrote last season's A Case for the Blue Box and is the legendary Star Trek director and writer. This story sees the Doctor meet a new recurring Time Lord, the Rogue, and it also shows how many different TARDISes there are and the differences and similarities they have. While having an adventure during Soviet Russia, the Doctor and Sammy stumble upon a very familiar looking woman. A woman who went by the name of Katie Tillinger. She explains that an alien race, the Mitahai, reanimated her after death. The Mitahai reproduced by altering the DNA of dead individuals, bringing them back to life. Katie escaped from them 6 years ago, and has spent the rest of the time looking for the Doctor. This story features the return of early 90s companion Katie Tillinger. It deals with reincarnation and works as a parallel for the Doctor's regeneration cycle. The main question this story poses is, are you still you after being reanimated or regenerated? The Doctor and Sammy land in London, 1951, the Festival of Britain, a celebration of the achievements of this small country, this insignificant corner of the glorious 1,000-year Reich. Someone or something has been interfering with the timelines, and in order to investigate, the Doctor travels back in time to track down the very Nazi evil. In the heart of Germany of the Third Reich, he finds his little band of thugs and misfits do not take over half the world unaided. History must be restored to its proper course, and in his attempt to repair the timelines, the Doctor faces the most terrible dilemma he has ever known. This story features the return of a legendary Doctor Who writer, Terence Dicks. It is set in the early 50s in a timeline when the Nazis won the war. The question of what if the Nazis won the war in 1945 has been very popular for many years in fiction, but this is Doctor Who's take on it, and it is quite interesting. The Doctor has been convicted of murder by an alien race he has never heard of before. His punishment? To live the murder from the victim's point of view every hour. A punishment like this would surely drive him mad. The Doctor's innocence must be proved, or he will simply be nothing but a shell of his former self. Another courtroom drama. Doctor Who does a lot of these, but they are really very interesting. This time it details with the psychological torment the Doctor must go through, and it really shows it in explicit detail. It shows Sammy's helplessness to help the Doctor, and how she just can't do a thing even though he's suffering in so much pain. As well as the fact the court doesn't hold a very fair trial at all. Stockbridge used to be such a lovely place, the loveliest village in all of England according to the guidebooks, but hardly anyone visits Stockbridge now. A few tourists, a couple of trust guides, the odd beady-eyed raven, but something is coming to Stockbridge, something which turns the village cricketers into ravening zombies, a plague as the earth has never seen, falling through history from a time where humanity's greatest enemy was a race known as the Daleks. The Doctor and Sammy visit Stockbridge for the first time to confront the terrible secrets buried at his heart. The storm clouds are gathering. So, for the first time since season 33 in 1996, the Daleks return in their full glory. This story really shows the sneakiest side of the Daleks, and it is a very interesting story, which brings them back in full force. The TARDIS is recalled to Gallifrey, as the Doctor has been accused of committing genocide on a small world just outside Gamma System Z Alpha. He is to be tried for his crimes. His punishment? Termination. It is up to Sammy to prove the Doctor's innocence until something bad happens to her. Meanwhile, the President is dealing with the ancient time capsule known by the Doctor as the TARDIS. So, another courtroom drama and the season's necessary Gallifrey story. This story harkens back to the Deadly Assassin, the War Games and the Trial of a Time Lord. It is also very interesting as it reunites the Doctor and K9. It also shows how Gallifrey has changed since their last appearance as a result of the new leadership in the form of President Flavia. When a deadly race of aliens threatens the Doctor and Sammy, they must take refuge for 9 days inside the heart of the TARDIS. All they can do is talk or die of boredom. Either that, or they move, exposing themselves to the aliens. This is easily the cheap episodes of the series. It is literally two characters in a room with the eye of harmony. What could possibly go wrong? It works as a character piece, and more is actually revealed about the Doctor. The aliens in the story is very like the one seen in Human Nature, except the Doctor and Sammy hide from them inside the heart of the TARDIS. I'll survive, Doctor, I always do. Unfinished business. A frightened girl is stalked in a land of eternal night. A hunter longs for recognition and power. A traveller in time returns to the correct mistakes of the past and faces a danger that could rob him of his future, unless his future intervenes. And in the shadows stand Nimrod, waiting. Welcome to the Forge. This story features the return of former Doctor Sylvester McCoy. It's great to see him interact with Paul McGann, and it's a really fun story. It's also a great round off to the season, and Sammy's reaction to the 7th Doctor would have been simply priceless, as she would have been more used to the more awarding Grand Doctor instead of the bumbling fool the 7th Doctor seemed. Anyway, that's it for season 36. Here are all the links for the previous episodes and full title sequences. Next time is season 37. A certain someone's last season.